NBA fans are known to be some of the most passionate of any sport, from hurling cups of beer onto opposing players to bringing life-size cardboard cutouts of players' exes to games. NBA fans are known to get a bit rowdy. Not quite as rowdy as their European counterparts, but that's another video for another day. But sometimes fans can get a bit too carried away. Today, we're taking a look at the top 10 times NBA fans crossed the line. So if you're a nutter looking for some ideas or just curious about the wildest fans the NBA's ever seen, this list is for you. Number 10, KD versus Canada. KD was a beast for Golden State in 2019 and helped the team make its 5th consecutive finals appearance. But Game 5 of those finals didn't exactly go how KD planned. During the game, the bald spot terror suffered an apparent Achilles injury, like they had just won a free basket of Tim Hortons Timbits, all while Durant lay writhing on the floor in pain. You can even see this guy on the baseline waving goodbye to KD. That's cold, bro. And then I realized there's way more people waving, and others are clapping, and 2 bros even fist bumping. The cheering was controversial, with many people criticizing Raptors fans for celebrating someone getting hurt. Embiid even posted on Twitter and said that what happened was, quote, disgusting. And here I was thinking Canadians were nice. Number 9, Pacers versus Pistons, and their fans. NBA fans and players weren't expecting what happened when they went to the Palace of Auburn Hills on November 19, 2004. They thought they were going to watch the Pistons take on the Pacers, a burgeoning rivalry between 2 Eastern Conference powerhouses, which would have been great by itself. But they were in for a special treat of the 5-knuckle variety. Things began to get squirrely when the Pacers player formerly known as Ron Artest fouled Pistons all-defensive center Ben Wallace, who responded in kind by shoving Artest after the foul. This sparked a skirmish, a brouhaha and hold me back moment between players and team staff. Then, just as one thought the dust-up was over with, a cup of beer comes flying from the cheap seats and lands squarely in Artest's face. As you might expect, if you've ever had beer thrown directly in your face, Artest didn't take too kindly to the gesture. So much so that he jumped into the stands and proceeded to personally thank the fan with his fist. Several other fans and players ended up joining in on the festival, including this guy, who got slugged by a wicked Jermaine O'Neal slide punch in one of the most memorable moments in league history. When all was said and done and all the beer cleaned up, 9 players were suspended for their involvement in the brawl, and the NBA issued a record $11 million in fines. The Malice at the Palace, as it was aptly named, highlighted the need for better security at NBA games and serves as a potential reminder of fan-player beer interactions at sporting events. Number 8, LeBron versus Dubs Karen. Everyone handles their emotions differently. Others, not so much. But there are some who did, got caught on camera, and became an instant star. During the 2015 NBA Finals, the first of 5,000 meetings between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors, the Warriors led after Game 1 of the series, but the Cavs bounced back to take Game 2 and tie the series at 1 game apiece. One Warriors fan in particular didn't care for this result, and let her frustrations be known loud and clear. Just as LeBron James was about to enter the players' tunnel to head back to the locker room after the game, this fan called him. This remark led LeBron to give the woman a Dr. Umar stare. This somewhat hilarious incident led to the fan getting several death threats from bronzexuals across the World Wide Web. She later said in an interview, "Has no one ever yelled something at a professional athlete before?" she said sarcastically. "I know I'm not the only one. I just got caught on camera." Ah, accountability at its finest. Number 7, Trae Young versus New Yorkers with accents. Ever wonder why Trae Young is one of the most hated players at the Garden these days? This is why. When the Atlanta Hawks and the New York Knicks faced off in Game 1 of their 2021 first-round series, the crowd at MSG had one target, Trae Young. Every time he touched the ball, boos and chants of F Trae Young echoed throughout the arena. Despite the audience seriously lacking in creative insults, Young remained focused and dropped 32 points and hit a game-winning floater with a second left. This didn't endear Trae Young to local Knicks hooligans. In Game 2, one guy even went so far as to spit on Trae, in a throwback of the Magic Loogie of Seinfeld fame. Despite this, Trae averaged 29 points and nearly 10 assists in the series, and sealed the whole thing by draining a 30-foot three in the final minute of Game 5. After that unprecedented shot, Trae bowed to the fans, waving them goodbye, and told them to enjoy the subway ride back to Queens. Number 6, Ben Simmons versus Sixer fans. Remember when Ben Simmons passed up an open opportunity at the rim during the final stretch of Game 7 against the Atlanta Hawks in last year's playoffs? That play has stuck like a Ben Simmons outfit in the side of Sixers fans ever since. The Sixers went on to lose the game, and afterward, Joel Embiid pointed to that particular play as a turning point.
I'll be honest, I thought the turning point was when I don't know how to say it, but I thought the turning point was just, we had an open shot and we made one free throw and we missed the other, and then they came down and scored.
Simmons' career with the 76ers took a downward spiral after that Game 7 loss. He refused to report to the 76ers training camp and requested to be traded to another team. The 76ers eventually obliged, and Simmons was traded to the Brooklyn Nets. Still, after being traded, the lack of effort and Simmons' nonchalant attitude had left a bitter taste in Sixers fans' mouth. They felt let down and disappointed that Ben Simmons, who was supposed to be their next superstar, failed to live up to their expectations. The lack of recognition from Simmons himself was the final straw that broke the Philly cheesesteak in two. Fans wanted him to acknowledge his shortcomings and work on them, but instead he seemed to ignore them and not care about the team. This has made the Sixers fan base frustrated with Simmons, and they're known not to be the most forgiving bunch. These people once booed at Santa Claus. So in his first game back at the Wells Fargo Center, Simmons was showered with booze and fashion advice by the Philly faithful. However, when Ben Simmons was asked about the situation after the game, he, tongue-in-cheek, stated, "I thought it was going to be louder." Number 5, James Harden versus guy with a laser pointer. Utah Jazz fans have been known to get racist and creative. They always come up with ways to distract the opposing players. James Harden experienced this firsthand. On the 5th of January 2016, when the Houston Rockets were trailing the Jazz 76-68, one tech nerd in the audience got Harden's attention. When Harden was about to pivot to the rim, he stopped and looked up to his left. He made a gesture like he was about to throw the ball into the stands. This is because he felt laser pointer in his eyes. After the game, Harden said, "Some guy was lasering me. I saw it the first time and I thought it was a picture being taken. I went to the foul line again and it happened again." Unfortunately, laser pointer tech nerd guy received a 1-year ban from all NBA arenas, which has been up for about 7 years now. No lasers have been seen in Utah since. Number 4, LeBron James versus courtside Karen. LeBron and Karens have an ongoing love-hate relationship. During the Lakers game against the Hawks in February 2021, tension broke out between James and a couple sitting courtside. The Karen, Juliana Carlos, shouted something disrespectful that caught the so-called King's attention and prompted him to turn around. She said she would do some nasty things to LeBron's underage son. After an exchange of dialogues, LeBron demanded this couple to be ejected out of the arena since he didn't deem Karen Juliana worthy of besmirching his son. This incident became mainstream news and LeBron reacted by making a tweet saying, "Courtside Karen was mad." Number 3, Kobe throws sweaty arm sleeves into the crowd. Kobe was beloved and had fans in every NBA arena, much like Jordan in his heyday. In 2016, as Kobe Bean left the court for his last game in Utah, he threw his game-worn shooting sleeve into a group of rabid Lakers fans, sparking a frenzy between them to grab it. Eventually, one of the fans managed to seize the arm sleeve, and in a moment of pure delight, the fan took a deep whiff of the sweat-soaked fabric. His female companion joined in the celebration, taking a whiff of the arm sleeve as well. The loser of the sweaty sleeve sweepstakes made a statement about this fateful night, saying that she has been a fan of Kobe for a long time, and that the arm sleeve was actually intended for her, but was caught by a sweaty sleeve bandit. She even said that the arm sleeve smelled like 5 championship rings, washed and a little bit sweaty. Number 2, Kyle Lowry versus Bay Area billionaire. During Game 3 of the 2019 NBA Finals, a shocking incident occurred. As tensions ran high with the series tied at 1 game apiece, a dramatic scene unfolded with only 10 minutes left in the game.
To the front court in a 10-point game. Swatted away, Ibaka Lowry.
Dubs benchwarmer Quinn Cook attempted a drive to score, but was blocked by Serge Ibaka. Kyle Lowry followed up with a dive for the loose ball, but was unsuccessful.
He was talking about that he was pushed, and you see there that fan with the left arm pushing him.
Just as he was about to get up, an old white-haired man named Mark Stevens, who looked like Carter Pewterschmidt from Family Guy, and also a minority owner of the Golden State Warriors, pushed Lowry's arm and angrily cursed at him like he was Peter Griffin. This incident immediately triggered Lowry, and he quickly snitched to the referee. Mark Stevens was escorted from his seat and got a year-long ban from all Warrior games and a hefty fine of $500,000 from the NBA. When asked about this incident, Lowry said, "The fans have a place. We love our fans, but fans Fans like that, they shouldn't be allowed to be in there, because it's not right. Take that, Peter Schmidt. Number 1, water bottle versus Kyrie. 21-year-old Celtics fan Cole Buckley, whose name sounds like an Andy Griffith Show character, did not anticipate being charged with assault when he threw a water bottle at Kyrie Irving's skull. During Game 4 in September 2021, Brooklyn secured a 141-126 victory over the Boston Celtics. Buckley wanted to buck things up, so when Kyrie and the Nets were on their way back to the locker room, the Buck hurled a water bottle directly at Irving's noggin. Luckily, Buckley bricked it like a Ben Simmons free throw, and the water bottle did no harm. When asked about the incident, Irving chalked it up to some good old bucking Boston racism.
Underlying racism and just treating people like they're in a human zoo.
This near miss actually led Buckley to have a criminal charge of assault and battery using a dangerous weapon at a young age. He got off with only a $500 fine and a lifetime ban from TD Garden, but word on the mean streets of Boston is that he's now been practicing his throw and plotting H2O revenge on Irving.